Welcome back to Stamping at the Warren, and I'm Kim Tolton, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make some quick and simple cards, and it's an assembly line job. So this is the kind of way, if you are doing team swaps, for example, that you can make really quick and simple swaps, because we have got our regional event in Telford coming up in April, or if you are not a demonstrator but you would like to be able to make a nice stash of cards that you've got ready and available. All you need to do at the last moment is put on any extra embellishment or a different sentiment. So I often make up my cards and then don't put a sentiment on them, and then that way I haven't tied myself down to a particular sentiment. Anyway, here's a quick flick through the 10 cards I have made to share with you. I'm not making all of them, we'll be making 4, but I want to also show you how I make products on an assembly line basis. So they are all using coordinated colours across a Stampin' Up spectrum, and they're just a beautiful paper. They're all double-sided, which you'll see in a moment, and I adore these little honeycomb embellishments. I think they're just divine. And I've used 3 punches for speed's sake, really. Again, if you are doing a large batch, then using dies is great. If you're doing a fairly small batch like this, then you don't necessarily want the faff of getting your big shot out if it's not at hand, and so punches offer an alternative. But also, if you are a complete novice to stamping and you're not sure if it's completely for you, you can buy a bundle that contains the accessories, a punch, a couple of ink pads, or 1 ink pad in this case, some pretty paper, and bingo, you're away upside down. And then this one ties in quite nicely. Another one that's upside down ties in quite nicely with the balloon celebration stamp set. And this is probably one of 3 papers in the pack that I just adore. I wish I could get them separately. This is another. Hopefully you can see all of those. Oh, and one last one. Look, hiding away over here, so another one. And I've just used 2 colour of cardstock along with the card base, and we're actually working straight onto the card base rather than using matte layers. So the first thing that you want is to make your card bases. So we're using thicker Whisper White cardstock here, which is in A4. Now this is 21 centimetres wide here, but it is actually just over the 21. So you just need to trim off that extra little bit. It does, it's the tiniest bit, but aesthetically it makes quite a difference when it comes to putting everything together. You're then going to move your cutting blade out the way, line up the cardstock at 10.5 centimetres, and then the paler blade is your scoring blade, and just go up and down just a couple of times and that will score that whole sheet. You can then rotate and cut at 14.8 centimetres, which is standard A6 card, and then again and again you're going to find there's a tiny strip of paper that we're going to cut off, same as before. Look, that's 2, And then make sure your cutting blade, we want to take off that little bit first, so go to 21 and just trim off that tiny piece, and then move across to 10.5. Move your cutting blade out the way, and then with your scoring blade, that's a punch, don't worry, go up and down a couple of times, rotate, and then line up at 14.8 and cut, and 14.8 again and cut. And I would, whether I'm making 4 or whether I'm making 100 of the same thing, which, you know, if you're making wedding invitations, you could well be making several hundred. So by doing it in this way, you actually save quite a considerable amount of time. Next, bring in your designer series paper, and these are the ones that I've picked. These two here, floral on this side. If you turn them over, there's a contrast on this side. So you can put 2 pieces of designer series paper together. The Stampin' trimmer won't cut 2 pieces of cardstock, but it will trim 2 pieces of designer series paper. And you want to cut at 14.4 centimetres. And then turn it round and cut at 10.1 centimetres. And again, so again at 10.1 centimetres. And there is 4 pieces of cardstock the same. You are then going to put this back in the trimmer, and you are going to cut at 2 centimetres. And same with this one. There you go. And that's your trimmer done. Now bring in your card bases, and you're going to fold and burnish each of those. And the scoring makes a big difference. Make sure you have the unsightly ridge on the inside of the card. And this just makes the cards sit nicely once they're made, and they'll stand up on a mantelpiece quite nicely. So there's 4 card bases, and you're going to organise these so that they are coordinating. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to mix the rest up. So we shall go that one, and that one, and just want to try and make sure they're each different. And that one. So you've got a different combination with all 4 cards. And then I just quickly stack them, keep the first lot out. And I'm just using fast fuse to adhere these to the cards. So we're just going straight down onto the card base. I find Fast Fuse or Tombow, please don't use PVA, it just will make your cardstock wrinkle and that is not pretty. So with this one we'll stick this along that edge there, and its small strip is going to go here, so you want to put the adhesive on the back. And just line it up. Down it goes. I don't know what I did there, look. I need my scissors. Actually, no, I won't. I'm going to roll that onto the back. That'll be the easiest thing. There we are. See, I don't know what I did there, for sure. Anyway, there's card 1. And then card 2. And I do tend to put the bit down the spine here, it goes last, whichever edge that it's going to go, purely because if there is a difference in size, then you just overlap it. I'll go down here. And on the back of this one. And I'm going relatively slow for you, just so anybody that's completely new can be following, but normally I would be working at a much faster pace. I'm just trying to see what I've already done, so I just get a different combination when I put it on the card base. We've got that strip and that strip, so we'll go this way this time. I'm actually going to go that side and that side, I think. There you go. And back down. And then turn this one over. Fast fuse it. If you get any fast fuse on your mat or your grid paper, just give it a rub and it will come off. And that goes down there. And then your last one, check again, it shouldn't be a duplicate because we've already had all the others different. And then that one goes down there nicely. And you can see, although we're using different colours in the papers, they all work together. And this is by far and away Stampin' Up's biggest selling feature for me, because the coordination takes all the hard work out of things. So there is 4 card bases, so you could obviously have them in landscape or portrait, entirely up to you. So that's your 4 basics. Next is going to be stamping some sentiments. And you just want an off cut of Whisper White, just regular Whisper White cardstock. Just 1 ink pad, basic black. And I've used all 3 of the stamps that come from this stamp set. So I'm going to do 2 birthdays because they are the most common reason for making a card. And then this one just says for you. And the other one, friends. Dear friends, or just friends? Friends, I think. Yeah. So that's your 3 sentiments, but 2 of them are the birthday. And then I've used a combination of punches to make the toppers. So first of all, I'm going to go in with the decorative label punch. And again, this is where Stampin' Up! Has coordinated everything. The stamp fits perfectly inside that punch. We punch both of those. And then I have used the 1 3/4 inch or 1 3/4 inch oval, which I think is the large oval. Just trim this down a bit. And again, look, fits perfectly inside. Isn't it easy? I think it is. Must be an awful lot of work goes into ensuring all of these things are right. And that's for sure. Right, so we've finished with the ovals, but we haven't finished with the decorative label. So we're going to use a combination of Blushing Bride and Pool Party cardstock, and they will coordinate with the colours. So I'm going to punch one of those in Pool Party, and I already have one that I made earlier in Blushing Bride, and we're going to do the same with the other punch I've used, which is the Scallop Oval punch. So we're going to do one in Pool Party and one in Blushing Bride, which is right in front of me. There we go. That's your punched bits, and you will feel that there is a ridge on one side. That's the back side. The front side you will feel is slightly beveled. So you just want to make sure you've got the back sides face down. And I'm going to be putting on some Stampin' Dimensionals. For the decorative label, I use 3 in a diagonal. There is a reason, I promise. You will see when we layer them up. And 2 on each of these. And then on the back of your sentiments, again the decorative label, punched ones you want 3 in a diagonal. Oh, that one's done. Right. And just 2 on the oval. There we go. And then you can start seeing where we're going. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. Right, so if you start with the small ovals, just take the backing paper off and mount that on top, and you'll see you just get a nice subtle scallop showing from the outside, and repeat that with your other one. That's your second topper made, and then take off the backing of your first birthday sentiment, and what you're going to do is actually offset them so they're a bit at a kilter. Okay, and then with this one, try and get it a slightly different angle, perhaps the opposite angle, or went that way. So we're going to go, actually going to go more exaggerated. Okay, then you bring in your 4 cards, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and decide what sentiment you want on where. I think that needs a blushing bride one over there, and I think that one needs a blushing bride and that one needs a pool party. And then all you need to do is decide where you're going to put your sentiments, and that is entirely personal, and that's where making each of these cards is makes them individual. And can you see that by doing these at an angle you still have a piece of adhesive for that bit, but it allows you, these sentiments are all popping up off of the cardstock, which makes them stand out. Put one in the middle there, and then with this one I'm going to pop it up there, I think, and then the last one I'm going to pop down there. We haven't quite finished. I also have here some of those delightful honeycomb elements, and that's what I'm going to embellish these with. Now, if I was storing these, what I would do is I would pop this on and leave it like that until I was ready to actually send the card off, or even send the card with instructions on what to do with this piece. So if you're sending it to another crafter, you could probably quite easily explain what they've got to do. So you just want to take the backing paper off this side and pop this down. And look, isn't that so cute? I love it. I absolutely love it. So fun. I just think they're beautiful. And what shall we go for in this one? So they come in Blushing Bride, Mint Macaron, and oh look, I'm short one. That's because I used them all up earlier. Now, which shall I put on which? Actually, that one I might leave with that one on. So I've got a Mint Macaron one here and a Blushing Bride one there. Decisions. I'm going to go mint macaron on this one. So again, take one piece of the backing off and place it in where you want that to be, and then when you're ready you can peel off the backing of this side, stuck to my finger, and peel it down. And you can obviously put these wherever you want them. If you're having trouble sticking them down, the easiest way is just to get your paper piercing tool and just go in and just pop it down. And the same, if any of the bits get a bit flattened, just use your paper piercing tool just to pop in there, make sure it's all nicely stuck down. So that's that one. And your last one is Blushing Bride. And I'm going to go down in this corner, take that backing off, roll it over, and there you'll see if I put my paper piercing tool in there, just move it around, press it down, and that's nicely stuck. And there you have 4 sweet, pretty, feminine little cards. Let's face it, it is mostly women we make these cards for, isn't it? Made for women by women. I think when I look at my Google Analytics, 97.9% of visitors and followers of my videos and blogs are female. And from any age, from sort of late teens up until post-retirement. So there you are. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you have it. I now have 14 cards to send off to my customers, which each of my customers will be getting one of these. If it's not this designer series paper pack, it will be one of the other designer series paper packs. But yeah, so I will be sending them off, and hopefully they'll enjoy them too. And that's it for today. I hope you've really enjoyed it. What I will actually do is I will put up a series of photos on my blog, which there will be a link to today's blog. If you actually look at my videos, there will be a link above today's video. So if you click on that, it will take you, or will take you straight to my blog, but it will just be to the blog. If you want today's specific blog post, then there will be a card, so you'll see a little exclamation mark symbol in the top right hand corner of my video today. So if you click on there and click on that link, and it will take you straight to today's tutorial. Alright, and what I'll do is I will upload pictures of each and every one. So I now have 14 unique cards, so I will take individual photos of them, and I'll just put up a whole series of pictures, and then if you want to copy any of the designs, then you can. And I'll also put just a quick tutorial on there, and I will also ensure that there is product icons available on my blog, and if you click them, it will take you straight through to those items in my online store. So should you wish to order any of today's products, you can do that really easily. If you're outside the UK, don't worry, click through. What will happen is, rather than it going through to my online store, it will go through to stampinup.net, so you'll still be able to order online. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, all of my social media is in the show more section underneath today's video, and you can follow me in every which way that you choose. And if do leave your comments. I do love to get your comments. I'm so enjoying getting to know all of my followers. It's really divine to sort of have that network there, because I am disabled, so I'm very homebound. I'm very fortunate that my workshop is in my log cabin in my home premises, and it's all wheelchair accessible, so I can work from home really easily. But you know, I enjoy the social interaction that I get with my followers and my customers. So there you go. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow, and for now, ta-ta.